Hi guys, Stephen the Geek here. This is my first real YouTube video, and by I say first video I mean one where I actually put any kind of effort into using Adobe tools and a proper camera to do the recording. This first one is based on friends asking me how I use AWS or Azure machines to do game streaming services without having to do an ongoing subscription. Because if you're like me and you already have a beefy PC to play games on, it's only something you may need 1 or 2 hours a month. So with this, you can power it off, compact it, only costs you a little bit for storage, and then when you need it, you just turn it on, and then you pay more per hour than you would for a streaming service. But since you're only doing it when you need it, it is actually more cost effective. I'll break this up into probably 2 or 3 videos. But for the first part, what the video is actually titled, actually getting a game streaming PC set up in Azure. Let's go. So the first thing I need you to do is bring up 3 websites on your local machine: azure.microsoft.com, ui.parsecgaming.com, and github.com/Stephen the Geek. This will be the 3 sites we use to pull the scripts and register for accounts. So let's go back to azure.com. If you don't have an account, you can click up in the top right where it says free account, and you can see down at the bottom you get $200 credit free, good for 30 days, so it makes this whole exercise completely free for you. And once you've done that, just come back up to Portal, and this will take you into the main screen where we can provision a whole bunch of stuff. Looks really complicated, but really we're just going to go up to virtual machines. We're only interested in one part of Azure right now. So click up there, then click Add. Just bring up a new screen for provisioning a new VM. You pick a resource group. You'll just let it create a new one. I've already got one here, but you just click create new if it doesn't say so already. Give your machine a name. This is the machine that's going to show up in Parsec, so pick something self-explanatory. If you're not watching this in the UK, pick a region closer to you to get the latency down, and just go ahead and pick Windows 10. You will not be able to do that on AWS, but for Windows it's the cheapest option. I'll just show you that actually. If you click on a different version like Windows Server and click change size, you can see when we go up and change the filters, we're only interested in machines starting at NV because these are the ones that have got GPUs that are used for video. The other ones are just used for AI. So as we come across, you can see that for Windows it's £640 per hour for Windows Server. But if we come back across and change it to Windows 10, even though it doesn't update on the screen, when we select it, you'll see that the price has actually dropped to $490, so that's like a 30% saving. Maybe not quite as much as that, but not far from it. So next, the question is the administrator account. This is the username and password used to actually log into Windows on the VM. So fill something in there that you'll remember. Then we come down to the firewall rules. By default, we absolutely need to connect to remote desktop to configure this. So let it go first. That's going to open it up to the world. It's giving you that warning. So we're going to come back and fix that. But for the minute, just go in the next screen. And there's not much else here. We've just got telling you it's a standard SSD, comes with like 100 gig drive. If you don't need anything else, you don't need to add anything here. So across to networking, if this is the first time you're doing it, this will be filled in for you as new and new subnets, new virtual networks. Mind you, I just used the same one, so I'm just picking the one that I had the last time. There's no configuration, you just let it create a new one. Everything's just going to be on basic for the security group. It just lets you create a security group that you can apply to other VMs later. So whatever you set here, if you pick that in the future, you'll get the same ports. That's handy because of the same thing with this 3389. We're eventually going to lock that down. Nothing on management or advanced. You can just leave everything it is. It's best in management just to leave most of it off. Saves resources, which when you're gaming is all important. Oh, nothing here, nothing tags. Next. And you can see up in the summary, it's giving you a price of 67 pence per hour. Unfortunately, Azure doesn't do per second billing like AWS does, but that's still a pretty reasonable price. So again, it's just listing the firewalls down here, just reminding you. But we're good to go. So now we just go ahead and click create. And this will take a few minutes to complete. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to make sure you catch the other videos in the series where we take this even further, click subscribe and click the bell. And don't forget, if you get any questions, I try to stream 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays on Twitch. And I've also got a Discord available in the comments that you can join. And I'll do my best to help with any ideas that you've got. Also, before I forget, we better go and fix this firewall issue so that we can close it off. So go and click on virtual machines, and your machine probably won't be listed yet. So every couple of seconds, just hit the refresh button. It generally takes no more than about a minute to appear. And there it is. So go ahead, click on your new machine, click on networking, and there's our evil record that opens 3389 up to everybody. So we're going to change that so we can access any port. So just click on the port number, take it away, place it with an asterisk. That'll let now the whole world access anywhere. That's what we don't want. So we need to go up and change the source from any to an IP address. And you need your external IP, which you can get to by going to www.whatsmyip.net. And that'll show you at the top. That'll show you your current external IP. So just grab that, pop it in, hit save, wait a few seconds, and that's it. It'll be updated and we're safe again. And there we go, it's saved. So we can just go back onto our overview of the machine. It still says creating. Like I say, this can take up to 10 minutes. So you're just going to sit around and wait for this to change to running. While we're waiting, you might want to grab the public IP address, just copy it into the clipboard at the top right there. And what you will want to do is click start and then type MSTSC, which is Microsoft Terminal Services Client. It'll come up as remote desktop, run that. And once your machine says running, you can connect to that IP address, put in your username and password, hit connect. And there we go. Normal Windows 10 desktop. It's not running full screen for me because I'm running this monitor in 1440 and this is still running the default video card with default resolutions. It's probably running that not even 1080. So this is a Windows 10 gaming machines that's run in the cloud. We do want to go ahead and switch all of those settings off and click accept. No tracking here today. Thank you very much. There we have it. We're going to let's open this up to allow it to be searchable. It will allow us later on, if we do USB over IP to in Steam streaming, just to find each other if we put the embedded VPN on. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we have to allow PowerShell scripts to run because by default it doesn't allow external. So go ahead and click start and type in PowerShell I'd run PowerShell LSE. It's got a little bit of a UI to it, but it makes no difference. And basically what we need to do, and we'll paste this in the comments, is we need to set the execution policy by doing set-execution policy minus execution policy remote signed. You hit return, click yes to it, and we're now in a position to run our NVIDIA drivers. But first, we need to go start, run, iExplore, because without Internet Explorer having these terms accepted, click OK, we can't run any downloads from a PowerShell script. So with that done, you can go and grab the script from my GitHub page, which we will just get up on this local browser. We'll do all the copy and paste and run the local machine. So if you crawl, it was just github.com/Stephen the Geek. And while we're at it, we may as well go and get the other site. So we'll get the ui.parsecgaming.com up. In case you need to sign up for that. But technically, you could do it on your own machine. And I guess we don't need the Azure page actually. Because we do that on your own PC. So let's just jump onto the GitHub page and go to the Parsec Cloud preparation. Scroll down a little bit in the README, and you'll see a little bit snippet of code. That's the PowerShell script. We're going to want to just copy that, jump across into our PowerShell, pop it in, hit return. It's not doing anything fancy here. All it's doing is running some scripts that will get us things like DirectX installed. And it comes up full explanatory here. It says the operating systems that it supports and tells you exactly what it's doing. Now, you'll see some errors on it because this was designed for running on 2016 server for gaming, because no one had Windows 10 VMs before. So let's try to disable the IE security. That doesn't exist in Windows 10. Yeah, you can browse the web straight from the start. It's just that those servers are hardened a little bit. And you can see the other things it's doing. Installing DirectX. It's going to put DevCon, which is the virtual controller. Parsec for the game streaming itself, because you can't stream over remote desktop. It's just not fast enough on the refresh rate. And it's going to put Chrome in. We don't really need that, but you don't want to be using IE on a server, so it goes ahead and does that anyway. Now, this will just take a few minutes to put DirectX in, because it's a bit of an install. So we'll just fast forward and come back when it's done. Okay, so we're about there. We're just coming to the end of it. You can see there was a couple more errors there. They are just surrounding it, trying to put Direct Play in, which is part of DirectX that's already existing in Windows 10 again. And it's trying to disable Server Manager from popping up every time because servers do that, which is not there. Now you can see it's went ahead and installed Parsec. It's installed the virtual controller that it uses to share. It has added some desktop icons for us to set up. And what it's doing now is it's putting in the Razer audio driver. That's telling you to get surround sound over the streaming session. Now, the next important thing we must do is, tells us there, we need to make this machine just automatically log in. And we do that by typing start and typing net plwiz and go ahead and run that. And you can see there that it says all users must require a username and password to log in. We untick it, hit apply, get it to cache the password needed to log in. Okay, okay again. And that's it. Now the machine will boot straight up into Windows without asking for a login. Since we're the only people that can access it with our IP address, there's not too much harm in that. This is just a gaming machine. You can see in the box behind, this was just one of the items that asked us to do. And now we need to run the actual Parsec application. It's Parsec Service Manager because Remote Desktop doesn't allow Parsec to run. So Parsec wrote us a little shortcut. Now you can click sign up here if you don't have an account. It just takes you to a form that you approve. In my case, just going to put my username and password in. First time you connect from a foreign IP, you have to accept an email that asks you to connect. So we will go ahead. It'll take a second to come in. And that's came in, so I'm just going to click approve. Now it tells me it's okay to log in. Click login, and you can see I've got some of my other PCs already showing up here. One thing we've got to quickly do is right click on the system tray icon and tick run when my computer starts. It doesn't actually put a tick in the box, but it will do it on the next restart. And you can see it's appeared there on the list, not that you would stream to yourself. So that's Parsec done. But we still don't actually have NVIDIA drivers in. So it says there that we have to run the GPU updater tool. That's really the final step. But without it, it makes the whole exercise useless. So let's go ahead and run the GPU updater. Some of these services, I think AWS is public, but Azure is public, but AWS is private and you have to log in. So what this does, this just finds out what your service is, where you're running it, what operating system you're running on, and it goes one way or another and finds the right NVIDIA driver. And in this case, also the grid driver. So grid licenses are what makes these data center NVIDIA cards actually allowed to stream games or stream video even. Without the grid driver, it's just an AI card. So this is about to restart on us and put the driver in. You can get the Parsec client from www.parsecgaming.com and grab that Windows version, just like I've done here. Installed it, log in with the same username and password. And as you can see, when the machine reboots, appears, you can hit connect. No more remote desktop. In this mode, we have full 1080. We have anything up to 1440 available to us, and just by changing the resolution from auto detect to whatever we want, changes the actual desktop resolution. The NVIDIA graphics card's capable of everything now that we've got the new driver in. I'll just change it back to 1080 for me. And that's it. You can now use it like any other computer. Now, there is one exception, and that is the money, because this costs per hour. The most important thing is not to use the shutdown option in the computer. I'm pretty sure I've disabled it in that script. So when you go start, there's restart, but no shutdown. When you want to shut down this computer so that billing stops, just disconnect from Parsec using the icon up there. Go to back to azure.microsoft.com, back to your website, which we've got here. Click on your VM. And at the top, next to the connect, you can see there is a stop button. When you hit stop, it'll ask you if you want to make the IP address that you're using static. That may not survive reboots and it'll always be the same IP address. I usually click yes on that. There's probably a small charge, like $1 a month for a static IP. Just bear that in mind. So if we flick over to the virtual machines tab quick enough, you can see that the state will go from running to deallocating. It can take a few minutes. Eventually it will be like my one up top that says stopped, deallocated. And from that point forward, all you're paying for is the storage fees of the machine. Now, you can actually image this machine, and you could then terminate it completely. If you delete the machine, then you're going to have to go through this whole video, this whole process again. But that is for another video. Today is just how you can get it on, get it created, get it into a state that's capable of streaming games, and then how you stop it so that it's no longer costing you anything other than the storage fees. Now, the storage fees could be, I think they could be about $8 a month. That's just something you have to watch out for. It's not something that I notice, but you sure would notice £490 or £490 or $600 a month. So you definitely want to make sure it's in the deallocated state. But that's it, guys. That's all there is to getting a machine running. Those scripts of mine work in AWS and Google Cloud. So yeah, you can use any of those services. I'm going to do another video on AWS because it has bigger services that it can run much like a 1080 or a 1080 Ti graphics card. It's got the slight edge for this, but it's twice the price. So I hope you found this video useful, and don't forget to hit the bell if you want reminded of when these new videos come out that will push this to another level. Bye for now.